are so many elderly and disabled victims out there who are victims of serious crimes, and unfortunately their voices haven't been heard, they haven't been believed. And yet, if we take the time to investigate, if we take the time to sit and talk to these elderly victims, we will uncover some very sad but very truthful things. And I can't think of cases any more worthy than these to prosecute. These victims deserve justice. Who is committing these kinds of crimes against our aging population? Well, one prominent profile is of a son between late 30s and late 40s. He's living at home with his widowed mother. And I am going to be focusing many of my remarks on those in your flock who are widows. It's interesting, in many religions and in many scriptures we are being commanded to look after two groups of people, orphans and widows. And it's widows that I see time and time again. It's our ministry to make sure that the widows in our flock are being properly cared for. And very often they are not, because the perpetrator is their own son living off his mother. And the reason he is at home is because he's either, one, divorced and come back to live at home, two, he's single and he's never ever left home, or three, he's just come back from prison or jail. And that's the only address that he knows. In every single case that I've prosecuted in the last 7 years, and I've done over 75 of these cases, he's lazy and he's unemployed. The first question I always ask the victim, the widowed mother, is, how come your son isn't working? And the response I often get is, he has a medical problem. And I say, let me guess, he's got a bad back. And she says, how did you know? I say, it's simple. If you sit on your sofa 8 hours a day with your TV remote, you're going to get a bad back. That's as simple as that. And these sons will use as an excuse a medical impairment as to the reason why they cannot or should not be working. He has an addiction to either drugs, alcohol, or gambling, or a mixture of all three. And because these habits require money, where does he get the money from? From his mother. And there comes a point in the relationship, ladies and gentlemen, where the mother stands up to him for the first time and says, that's it, I'm not giving you any more of my money. What does he do? He abuses her. He physically hits her. He grabs her by the upper arms and he shakes her. He throws her against the wall. He gets the nearest hard, blunt object and he whacks her around the head. Now, do you think the first time that he does that she calls 911? No. She's ashamed, she's scared, all the emotions are flooding in. She won't even call you. And if only she did. But perhaps you are going to be the saving grace for her. You prompt yourself or one of your staff members to go and make that unannounced visit to her home. And when you walk in there next week, you will see this son sitting there on that sofa at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when he should be out working. And you say to yourself, this is not right. What do we need to do as a community, as a body that owes something to this widow? What do we need to do to save her from being hit a second or a third time? On January the 1st, 2003, the law was changed to include all clergy in California to become what we call mandated reporters of elder abuse. The problem is, ladies and gentlemen, that I sense that many clergy don't know that they are mandated, because we haven't done, as a society, a very good job of telling the clergy what the law is. And secondly, even if they are aware of who are mandated to report elder abuse, the next question is, what is elder abuse? It's a crime. It affects anyone in California who is 65 years or older. And the thing about elder abuse, which I found in the last 7 years as a prosecutor doing these cases, is it's very predictable. And once we understand some of the dynamics, then we know what to look for. And the tragic thing is, it's probably happening right now to somebody in your pastoral care, in your congregation. The over 65s is one of the fastest growing populations. in our whole society. And sadly, we still don't yet have a cure for Alzheimer's or dementia or Parkinson's, which are the three most prevalent illnesses that affect victims of elder abuse. And one of the curious factors which I have discovered over